Hello and welcome to another Java tutorial. This is Professor Saad Yusuf, and in this tutorial we would like to understand what exactly is an abstract class. In the next tutorial I'm going to be doing an example with you. So what is an abstract class? Well, before we understand what is an abstract class, we also need to understand what are the classes called which we have been talking about all these months when we have been learning Java. And then we will going to understand an abstract class. The classes that you have been dealing with this far are called concrete classes. So abstract classes are those classes which are not concrete. So well, what exactly is an abstract class? Well, abstract class is generally a class from which you can extend. For example, what exactly it means is that it is a class which can become a parent. However, it is not capable of instantiating objects. So if you have an abstract class called employee, you can't say employee emp1 equals to new employee constructor. You cannot instantiate objects from this class. So one purpose of this class is a class from which you can instantiate from. So it can be used to standardize certain logic. So it can be used so that you can create certain set of properties, certain set of behaviors from which you can extend, but you do not want anybody to be created as an object of that type. For example, in a given organization, you have employees of different types. You have some as staff, some as faculty, some as technicians, and all of these employees have certain properties in common. So those properties that are common across the board, you can put it in a class called employee. And in that class employee, you will only going to have those properties and those methods and behaviors which are common. However, you do not want anybody to be able to be directly instantiated from the employee class. So you will going to create it as an abstract class. Means a class that will serve as a parent and parent only, but will never be used as an object bearer. So you will not going to have anybody in your organization that will going to be of employee type. In order for you to have an abstract class, you must have at least one abstract method in it. So we'll talk about what is an abstract method and why would you want to have an abstract method. So an abstract class is the one which can serve as a parent and parent only and cannot instantiate objects. On the other hand, concrete class is the one which can instantiate objects, the classes that we have been learning this far. So if you look at methods in an abstract class, they're generally of two types: abstract methods and non-abstract methods. Any method that you have learned this far, public static void method name, public void method name, public int method name, public static string method name, all of these are non-abstract methods because we did not use the word abstract in them. So the abstract methods are the one in which we use the keyword abstract. So what exactly is the difference between an abstract method and a non-abstract method? Just for you to understand the syntax, here is the example. As you can see in the first bullet point, that public void set color. It's a regular method. It's a non-abstract method. It has a body, opening and closing curly braces. Now these opening and closing curly braces can go on multiple lines that, as you are familiar with. So it just has a body. It's a complete method. On the other hand, a method that is an abstract method is an incomplete method. You write the word abstract, you write the return type or void, it's your call, followed by the name of the method, and you put a semicolon right away. So it is a method that doesn't really has a body. The question comes in, why in the world will you then even need this method when the method does not even has a body? Well, this is a way for the parent who cannot instantiate objects of its own to go incomplete and let the child complete it. In other words, if the parent class would like to force certain behaviors down to the children, this is the best way to do that. For example, in your employee class, all employees need to have a certain behavior, but that behavior's implementation will be different from one employee to the other. So in that case, the behavior will be declared in the parent class. However, the implementation will be in each of the child classes. Now you may ask, well, I could certainly override it. Well, yeah, you can override it, but then overriding is not a forced behavior. If you don't decide to override in a child, you can certainly get a copy from the parent. But in this case, if you do not decide to override the abstract method, the system will not even going to let you compile your program. It will not going to let you have a complete concrete class, because concrete class has to inherit from an abstract class, need to code all of its methods, and also need to code the bodies of any of the methods that it receives from its parent, which is abstract. So that is one way a parent can force certain behaviors to the children. So in the next tutorial, we're actually going to do an example so that you can get to see how an abstract class works. And then there are other benefits to using abstract classes, especially in polymorphism, especially in dynamic polymorphism, and we're going to talk about all of those details in the next set of tutorials. So in the next few tutorials, our idea would be to spend some time with the abstract classes, to spend some time with dynamic polymorphism, to spend some time with different ideas that revolve around this particular spectrum, and learn about polymorphic behaviors and abstract classes, and also learn about interfaces, which play a very, very vital role in Java. So I'll catch you in the next tutorial. Have a great day, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much.